Hello one and all, and welcome to Behind the Glass, your weekly automotive podcast hosted by two rather uninformed enthusiasts.
No.
I'm Sam from the YouTube channel Seen Through Glass.
I'm Tony from Gravelwood Car Sales.
And you can watch us each week. We hope you enjoy the episode.
For God's sake, do not put this out tomorrow.
Can you imagine if I upload the wrong
one?
Oh,
Would you be in trouble?
I would be in serious trouble. Can I actually just tell you? This is the email, right? Hi, Sam. Please see attached embargoed content surrounding the new 911 GT3, and then in bold, all content as per your signed NDA is embargoed until Friday the 18th of October.
Right.
And it's in bold and underlined and do not F this up. So this is all this is going to be hardcore because we're speaking about the future.
Yeah. Can we tell them what day it is today?
No. It's confusing enough for us. Let's not confuse them. The point being, I may end up saying something different in my main channel video, which will have gone live on Sunday.
Coming Sunday.
No, it would have gone live. Oh, God, let's just dive into it. Okay. Boys and girls, yes, we now know there is a new, I think in inverted commas, a new...
I would agree.
911 GT3. So this is the 992.2 GT3.
Yeah.
When I first caught wind that this car was going to be revealed and that I'd been amazingly invited to the actual reveal event,
why wouldn't you be?
Well, I'm not. My ego isn't that big.
Yes, it is.
But I thought, that's early in the 992.2 lineup.
I would say extremely early.
So you tell me, traditionally, when does the GT3 come out in a 911 model year? Do you see what I mean? We get the Carrera and the Carrera S
at the end,
then the GTS, then the Turbo and the Turbo S, and then the GT3.
Yeah, the GT3 always comes out normally at the end of everything else.
So we usually go all the standard road cars and then the GT cars.
Yeah,
but we are yet to even see a Turbo variant or even a Carrera S variant.
Yeah, and it's already out.
Yeah, here we go. Here's the GT3.
Yeah,
that I hope to get to the bottom of.
Me too.
So maybe I have got to the bottom of it. But at the time of recording, I think is strange. But actually, upon reading this press release, which I hold in my hand under the strictest NDA embargo,
He's not letting me look at it.
I'm not letting you touch this phone because I'm terrified you're going to just fire a message off to somebody. I actually think I understand why this is being rushed out. And I'm going to call it, I think I'm going to say it's being rushed out.
Well, I mean, I think that's quite clear that they're rushing it out, but I'd like to know the reason why.
Well, my immediate understanding is this is really our car. I don't think much has changed.
Right.
Let me read you the headlines.
Yeah.
For the track and the road, the new 911 GT3 and 911 GT3 with touring package.
Oh.
Bullet point 1.
Oh.
New 911 GT3 with an exhilarating 4-litre naturally aspirated engine and a shorter gear ratio.
Right.
Oi. Because everyone's always complained, haven't they? Oh, you just, by the time you're in second gear, you're doing 110. So I was like, maybe it's going to be a bit more engaging. You're going to be, passing through the gears quicker.
All right. Tell me.
Next bullet point. 911 GT3 touring package offers optional rear seat system for the first time.
They're copying you.
Literally.
Mate.
I emailed GT3 Belts being like, we've been screwed over here. Porsche have copied us. Next bullet point, even more customizable with a Visac and light bow package. And then innovative, lightweight sports bucket seat with folding function.
First time they've done that on a GT3 offered a Visac, by the way.
Because it's usually only on the RS models?
Only on the RS, yeah. So historically, the previous cars, they'd done it on the 991.2 GT3 RS. Mm-hmm. It was never offered on the Gen 1 RS or the Dot 1 that I had. It was only the Dot 2 RSs. And then it wasn't offered on our car. Yeah. It was offered straight away on the 992 GT3 RS.
Yeah.
which is uncommon, normally on the .2. And now it's been offered for the first time on a GT3.
And was the first time, we must have seen it initially with the 918 and then the 2RS. Those were the first two cars to have it, right? I think?
And then the 4RS.
Of course.
You can obviously have it as a
Spider.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. That had gone over my head because it's not something I would ever take.
You're not like full, you don't run full blood Porsche like me.
No.
You like dip in and out.
Yeah, I'm just, pinky finger Porsche.
Yeah, literally.
So, considering that those were the first four, so Tony, let me tell you a little thing about press releases here, right?
Okay, tell me.
Let me educate you slightly. This was my world for a good chunk of time. When writing a press release, that section right there,
oh my God,
those bullet points in that line, that is essentially what you want people to take away. That's your elevator pitch. That is the key information. If you get that, like that's...
And you know how to present that?
Well, write that.
Yeah.
But you should be able to... That should be it. I shouldn't have to read anything else. So I could now put this phone and this release back in my pocket and I shouldn't have missed anything.
Right.
That's the whole point of the initial...
Okay.
So if they've got this right, if this press release has been written well, which I assume it has because the Porsche PR team are fantastic, then I'm like, okay, what I'm reading from this is there's a shorter gear ratio and apart from that, there's back seats. Otherwise, not much else to talk about.
Cool story.
Yeah. So initially, I'm a bit like, So we move on.
Keep reading.
And by the way, if people are like, oh my God, are they literally just going to pick apart the GT3 press release on this episode? Yes, because,
we are.
Because, this whole podcast is about GT3s.
Yeah.
There's now a new one. So we've got to just dive in, even though
we both own one for a start.
Exactly. So they then go on and say, it's the 25th anniversary. Did you know that? 25th anniversary of the GT3, which is pretty exciting. Lots more tailor-made packages and innovative options.
Yeah.
To me, that screams Porsche reacting to the world of resto mods and modifying, and people like me who are putting Pasha seats inside. Like this is opening that up from a factory level. And then what else do we get? This is where I'm going to start skim reading, as one does with the press release. The Visac package, available for the first time in a GT3, offers even more custom configuration options for use on the track. In addition, the sports car comes with more extensive standard equipment than other options and further enhance its precision and sportiness. So we then get into the chunkiness of the car.
Good.
First up, the GT3 with modern styling. So apparently the most important next point is the styling. So I'm already going,
it's the same, isn't it?
There's not a lot to talk about here then, clearly.
Yeah, literally.
So they say
just
that
grasping at straws, really.
a bit.
Yeah.
So they we've got photos. There are tiny little tweaks to the front bumpers and the rear. I mean, it's so minimal. They talk about here that there's redesigned matrix LED headlights. Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
With an optional white accent ring. That's exciting.
Very good.
A bit like, you remember the GT2 RS that was on the Tour?
Yeah.
And he'd fitted LED lights to a 997.2 and it had the ring.
straight in.
Yeah, it was amazing. The rear wing has new angled side plates. Aside from that, I mean, there's a lot of stuff there which just doesn't really...
No more power.
Well, let me read you this because you might get excited by this. Porsche uses specifically developed aerodynamically shaped trailing arms with a teardrop profile on the double wishbone front axle. They increase downforce at the wheel arch at high speeds and improve brake cooling. To ensure that the downforce balance between the front and rear axles is maintained even when braking from high speeds, the suspension engineers have reduced pitching. On the new 911 GT3, the front ball joint of the lower trailing arm has been set to lower... It's been set to lower on the front axle to facilitate this. The 911 GT3 has adopted these modifications from the current 911 GT3 RS. The 911 GT3 comes as standard with 255/35 ZR20s at the front and 315/30 ZR21 sport tyres with improved wet grip. Optionally, track tyres and road approval are available. So to me, that's like we've done like a little. We just wanted to cool the brakes.
Yeah, they've just lit. I mean, they don't need to cool the brakes. They're fine. They've literally just nicked a tiny bit of technology from the GT3 RS.
Yeah. The front ball joint and lower trailing arm has been set lower.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's it. That's that section done. We then move on to the touring, which obviously for me is super exciting. They're basically making the touring a bit more of a definitive car away from the GT3. Yes, the rear seats are now optional. They're hinting, I think, at the fact it's going to be a better road car. So it says here, For the first time, a rear seat system for the 911 GT3 touring package is available as an option. This allows the everyday sports car to be adapted even more individually to the wishes of the customer for maximum driving pleasure on windy country roads. Particularly on the winding country roads, you can clearly feel that the steering is even better tuned than its predecessor, says Walter Roll. It instills greater confidence in the car because it responds more calmly from the center position. So do you remember everyone
It's softer.
Yeah, I read that is it's going to be less twitchy at the front end.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But that's all they've got to say about the touring package. It's got rear seats. Great. Lightweight design throughout. Its overall weight contributes to the agile direct handleness of the GT3. Wait for this. Very Porsche. A new silver-coloured lightweight aluminium wheel reduces the unsprung masses by 1.5 kilograms.
Oh, it's huge.
Huge saving. You can shave off... I think you can shave off another... You can shave off 13 kilograms by getting the magnesium wheels and a lightweight battery.
And the Vizak pack.
So in general, you're struggling a bit there. If you have a big lunch, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
And then finally we get onto the meaty gritty bit, I think, because we've just been talking about design for the last hour.
Well, that's all it is.
And they've said that the 8% shorter gear ratio. Now look, let's get into this properly. The 4-litre naturally aspirated engine in the new 911 GT3 has been designed for current, significantly stricter exhaust standards and equipped with 2 particulate filters and 4 catalytic converters.
Oh, no.
Read as, it sounds crap.
Yeah.
With this extremely powerful emission control system, Porsche does deliver a gripping soundscape. Bullshit. Sorry, I had to cough there. The engine power of the 6-cylinder box engine was attained through a series of optimization measures. This sounds like a lot of PR speak for. We couldn't do much because we were tied.
With our hands tied.
Hands tied.
Yeah.
So the cylinder heads have been revised. The sharper camshafts of the 3RS provide even more dynamic performance in the upper engine speed range. In addition, flow-optimized individual throttle valves and optimized oil coilers are used. The Boxer continues to deliver the same 510 PS. This means that each kilowatt of the revamped high-speed, naturally aspirated engine has to move 3.8. Oh, my God. Long story short, I think what they've said is they were restricted by the emissions, so they've done some tweaks so that the power remains the same.
That's why they've rushed the car out.
Yes.
I bet you.
So that's where I think we were headed to.
Yeah.
My reading on this, so I'm now going to power through because really they just talk about some new bucket seats which actually do look quite nice and quite comfortable, so I would actually look at those. And the fact that they do a lot more individualization, that's about it.
But it's not going to sound as good as our cars.
It's not going to sound as good.
Yeah.
And essentially their hands have been tied. And I think they've seen the long arm of emissions control coming their way.
Okay.
And they thought, bloody hell, let's just get this out while we can.
Yeah.
Because if we wait any longer, we are not going to be able to... Actually, we're not going to be able to get the same performance as a 992.1.
When's the rule change coming?
I think 2026.
Oh, yeah. But
So-
that's why.
Yeah. So if they'd waited longer, they would have had to have redesigned the engine, essentially. They would
Completely.
have to put more work in.
Yep.
And all they've had to do, really, is make a load of changes to stay the same.
So what they're going to do is they're going to rush the .2 3RS out as well.
I agree. I think all the
gonna have to.
naturally aspirated stuff is going to fly out.
Yeah. Be bloody millions of them.
So the only thing that we sort of want to finish off on is the new GT3 and the 3 touring package can be ordered from the end of the year with a starting price of £157,000 in the UK, including VAT. Interestingly, that's almost identical to my final spec price.
Oh, wow. So that's standard without options, 157 UK pounds.
Yeah, which is 20 grand more than my car was when I ordered it. My car was 136 without options.
Wow. So
It's gone up 20 grand.
wow. So by the time you add options and add that Vizak package,
Which is 20 grand.
they're going to be 190.
Yeah. And the touring package with the lightweight wheels, lightweight battery, everything, 30 grand. 30 grand.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. So the tourings are going to be mad expensive, depending on how you go with them. So, look, I mean, where's your head at?
Well, we have seen this before, by the way, because this is the similar difference between the .1 911 991.1, what I had, the RS, to the .2 with the Vizak.
I thought you had a .2 RS.
No, I had a 99.
The black car, the pink
yes,
car. Yeah.
I had a 991.2 Gen 1, first run.
First, not
Yeah,
Gen
yeah.
1.
And-
Yeah, you had an early 991.2.
Correct.
Did you ever have a 991.1 3 or 3 RS? The one with the flat headlights, with tail lights, not the curvaceous ones.
Not.
I don't think you did.
Like a 16 plate car.
Yeah.
So I had one in stock, but
Fine.
I never owned
You
one.
never owned
personally.
one. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. But you're right. It was quite a big change, but not the 991.1 to 991.2, not huge. And we do see, these facelifts, midlife cycles.
But what I'm saying is that's not the comparison. The comparison would be the 991.2.
God, we're getting nerdy here.
And then the Visac car that followed it. So mine was an 18 car.
Yeah.
Then that run finished. Then in 69, you had the second run, which offered the Visac package.
Even I'm bored by that. But
that's the difference. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's
it's minimal.
And what they done is, what I'm trying to get to there is, that's when they had to mess around with the top particular filters, because that's when 2019 they had all the emission law changes, so they didn't sound as good.
So, long story short, is there anything about this that makes you want to order one of these cars?
Well, no. If you have one, it's a complete waste of money because our cars are worth $150 retail.
Yeah.
So retail, that's not going to get a check from a dealer. That's $150 retail. So you're going to give $40,000 for literally a new car. Dash and a worse sounding car.
We should mention that it does get the 992.2 dash, the
Taycan
dash. Digital screen, not the analog dials, the push button to start and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I see this as Porsche also realizing that there is so much demand for GT3s now. This car has transcended. Yeah, because
really, still now there's 70 of them for sale online. Not that much demand.
People still are desperate for them, mate.
People though, mate.
List, this idea of, I'm going to order a GT3 from the factory at list. People are still desperate, mate. 100%. How many people do we speak to at our live events, come to our shows or anything like that go, I'd love to get a GT3. Or my dealer said I might be on the list for the next one.
Yeah, of course they did.
And so they've basically not changed it. So for you and I think there's zero. The only thing that intrigues me is the rear seat touring, because it's likely to have ISOFIX.
Yeah.
But I've got rear seats in my GT3 now and I love it and I'm happy. And why would I spend, as you say, it's going to be $50,000 minimum.
Well, it's 40 for sure.
Yeah, but by the time I've done stupid, silly stuff to it,
it's $50,000, yeah.
Just for ISOFIX.
Yeah.
Because the car, I will know now, I guess, what it's like in person, but I don't see it as any motivating factor, I don't think. But
not
for
if
those,
you've already got one.
Yeah, for those that haven't got one, sell.
Well, unless you've got to start playing the game and buying 10 McCanns.
Plenty of people have.
Yeah,
they all missed out on the first run. Here we go.
Well, this will be So if you were on the waiting list for the ones that we've got and you didn't get them, this is your time. This is the second run.
That's what I mean. I think they just think, we can sell them. We've got enough people bashing down our doors trying to get
deposits
them.
And stuff.
Off we go. Yeah.
Right.
So after all that hype and 20 minutes of chat,
we don't really know anything.
Well, we know that there's not a lot.
Yeah.
Maybe I've been proven wrong, and as I say, I'm sorry because we're recording this in advance. Really annoying if I've been to the event, I've been like, oh my God, this car is so different.
I just can't see how though.
But on paper and on photos, you're going to really do what we've just done and bore the socks off someone trying to explain why it's different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. But as I've said in the past, again, they're always small increments.
Yeah,
mate. They're never like the power's always the same. It's always about downfalls and brakes and handling. They're never real big, huge jumps.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Well, anyway, let's wait and see. Hopefully at some point I get a chance to go for a drive with one and I can do a little back-to-back comparison.
Yeah.
Now, it is very possible that the event has already sold out, but a quick reminder in case you missed last week's episode. Sunday, the 10th of November, we are doing a last hurrah, end of the year, BTG Live, Cars and Coffee, whatever you want to call it, meet and greet. Valencia in Spain in partnership with the legends at Swissquote Bank Europe. If you are interested in coming down to that, it's from 11 till 1. We've got limited tickets, a very exclusive event. If there are tickets still available, they'll be over at seenthroughglass.online/events. It's just our chance to kind of just say goodbye, wrap things up because we haven't got
not forever.
No. So extreme. But because we don't think we're going to be able to do anything else live this year.
No.
And we wanted to do something, and we're in Spain, or I'm in Spain anyway. Swissquote Bank Europe very kindly said that they would help out organising things, because I don't know many people in Spain, they do. And the chances are the weather will be better than it will be in the UK at that time of year. So we hope to see somebody there. And actually, just speaking about Swissquote Bank Europe, lots of you will remember me talking about them back in the summer, because obviously they helped sponsor and basically put together that amazing adventure I did in the Boxster. Which I loved.
Yeah.
I invested some money with them at the end of last year. I moved my investment portfolio. Look at me, I sound so legit, don't I?
You literally sound legit.
I moved my investment portfolio to Swissquote Bank Europe.
I bought a 12 grand Boxster.
Which was amazing, because they had this Lombard loan product, and it allowed me to go and buy that car in America and go on this epic trip. And it was just not a once in a lifetime, but the memories from that trip will be with me forever.
Yeah, good.
And part 2 is coming next year. Stay tuned for that.
Oh, wow.
But it was such a positive experience, and onboarding with them and the whole client services, the whole thing was great. And I thought, what would be fun? I want to trial something else. I want to have a little experiment and see, if we can get involved with some other kind of form of investing, or have some fun with at least some of their offerings.
I'm all ears.
As ever, it is important for me to say this is not financial advice. Do not come to me for financial advice.
You can come to me if you want.
No, don't do that either. I'm literally just sharing this stuff for fun, for entertainment, so you can kind of follow along with what I'm about to introduce you to. Swissquote Bank Europe really strongly suggests that you get independent financial advice before taking any investment. There's a lot of information below. Please, as I say, be sensible. This is just me talking about my own personal experience and having a bit of fun. And that fun was around, I thought I would invest a very small amount of money.
Well, I didn't think it'd be a lot, knowing you.
In 4 automotive brands or manufacturers.
Oh, wow.
Because this is something we don't really talk about that much on the podcast, but every now and again a news story comes through that we kind of touch on, which is obviously the profit and losses.
Yeah.
Aston Martin reported huge profits or huge losses, and you kind of touch on it, and I skimmed past it because I didn't really understand it. So I thought a better way to understand it, get involved.
Get involved.
So, mate.
What have you invested in?
4 companies.
What good ones?
I will tell you all 4.
Please.
And then you can break down how you think I'm going to fare over the next 6 months or so. I think let's give it 6 months, and we'll just, every month or so, we'll just check in, see how my stocks are doing, see whether I need to remortgage the house. But first up, I just mentioned them. Aston Martin. Wait, I want to tell you them all, and then
okay, fine.
Aston Martin. Number 2, Ferrari.
Right.
Number 3, Mercedes. Number 4, BYD. So, Aston Martin.
I think that's a good move.
So do I, mate.
Yeah.
Adrian Newey, the F1 team, going to be on the up, I think. The road cars, doing all right.
I think it's a good move because Mr. Stroll...
Not an idiot.
Is not a silly man.
Not a silly man.
And he's been building that brand slowly. The F1 team's worth a fortune now, by the way, what he paid for it. Mm-hmm. He's trying to turn the cars around. Whether it makes any money remains to be seen. Yeah. But I've always said to you this. I think his long-term goal is to get it in a place so he can sell it.
I agree.
Make an absolute ton of money, because that's what he's a businessman. And
there
a proper one at that.
And I'm along for the ride.
So, I mean, that's a good shout.
Ferrari.
Stupid.
Hamilton effect.
No, mate.
Potentially.
No.
Yep. If he goes there and wins a world championship, everyone is buying the Lewis Hamilton spec Roma. But it's happening. It's happening.
I think that's too strong. I think they're too strong as a brand. As in, what I mean is,
they don't need him.
I think that makes no in terms of your investment. Because knowing your investment, it's probably £2.
Hey, every investment matters to me. Let's see.
You'd be fuming if you get 180 back. I would need the last of it.
Mercedes. That was the one I was most skeptical about, but I think maybe it's going to be a solid one.
It will be. It'll be like a low risk.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Stalwarts.
Yeah,
and then BYD.
Oh, that's the elephant in the room, isn't it?
Well, the potential shooting star.
Who knows?
It's the wild card. It's the wild card, and that's what it was. So we're going to see. as I say, we'll touch on it. I'll keep people posted. Once again, I just want to repeat, not financial advice. And what Tony was just saying is just his thoughts on my experience. I just think it's a fun thing to check because it's just something we don't discuss. And what I'm hoping is, as these news stories can come out, you as the listener or viewer will be invested with me.
And he's not remortgaged his house, by the way, so there's no...
either comically or I don't know what. But anyway, so that'll be a bit of fun that we'll touch on.
Yeah.
Thank you to Swissquote Bank Europe for supporting the channel with the live event and various other things. And as I say, they're being great and I'm having fun with them and it's made it a more enjoyable experience for me, that side of my life, which is a new thing for me, but we're having a good time. More information below. And as ever, please be careful and take lots of advice before doing anything with your money, especially spending it with Tony. Anyway, we want to do some question and answers because it's been a while. It's been a while. Yeah, we had some big announcements on this episode, on the show recently. And we opened up for a Q&A over on the Behind the Glass Instagram.
Oh.
Behind the Glass _ podcast. So if you follow us there, you submitted some questions. And we're going to kick things off straight away with something I don't know the answer to. Jake Bullock, 87. Have you both driven over 200 miles an hour?
I have.
Have you? When and in what?
I can tell you in what. I just can't tell you where.
Okay. I now understand.
Pista.
In a pista.
Yeah.
What speed?
Like 20 top speed, basically.
Flat out.
Like 207 or 208, whatever it did. 211, whatever.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good man. Okay. The fact you can't tell me makes it even cooler. I'm just going back to look now.
I've got another one as well.
What's the other one?
I didn't quite. So I got one, not just under, like 194 or one in my performance on a runway, airstrip.
Wow, okay, fair.
Not quite.
The thing is, I've never been a massive top speed guy. I'm just trying to go back now because I did it in a 488 as well, weirdly, on the Autobahn. And I'm trying to see what the speed I was. I always thought it was like a 193 or something like that.
Fair.
But
I maxed AMG GTR on the Autobahn, but that they don't do quite 200. That was like 195, 196.
I think it was, it's 190 miles an hour.
Yeah.
I did.
Well,
I don't think I've ever been over 200. I don't think.
But I mean,
where can you?
Yeah, unless you're in a really, really, really fast car on a really, really, really straight road.
It's pretty difficult.
It's like not possible.
The Master Dave 555. Are you coming back down under?
We should.
We should watch this space. We said we would. We kind of spoke about doing a BTG Tours there, or the new tour company, as it will be revealed in January.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that'll be next year. I don't know if we'll have time next year to do Australia, but we'll come back at some point.
Yeah.
We'll come back at some point.
We was very well received there.
We were very well received there.
We were, yeah.
Max Vinzi, when can we expect a BTG Tour in America? Would love to attend. Well, that, again, international behind the glass activities, apart from the November Spain event. Watch the space. We're
coming.
A lot of people are saying, when are we going to find out about the tour? January.
Yeah.
Undisclosed date, but some point in January, we will tell you everything about what's going on. Nick Eisenheim.
Oh.
What is the most underrated sports car currently for sale? It's an interesting one, isn't it? Underrated. What's overlooked? That's better than people give it credit for. I've got one straight away. I've got two, actually.
Go on.
Don't know if it's still for sale. Well, I'll go for the one I know is still for sale. BMW Z4. In Larry trim.
Okay.
That's a good little car, I think.
Okay.
Now they offer a manual as well.
Okay.
I was going to say TT, but I don't think they still sell the TT, do they?
No, it's discontinued.
So I'm going to go Z4.
Well, as you've said Z4, I'm going to say the Supra. Although they're quite, but it is underrated, mate. It gets way overlooked, that car. It's better than Z4. It's better to drive. Although it's similar because it's a coupe. It's better to drive. And I'm going to go a bit of a wild card.
Go on. I want a wild card.
The Amira.
Are you drunk?
No. I mean, I wouldn't buy one, but it's a good car, no?
It's a great car, but
overlooked.
I'm in shock that you said a Lotus.
The initial hype's like been, now it's no one cares. So it's overlooked.
I still think it's overrated. I think it's overrated because you know what?
I think we've had an argument before about saying how good it was, and I said how bad it was. Now you've changed your mind like the weather.
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic, but everyone has sold them.
Yeah.
Everyone I know who bought one has sold it.
So I was right again in the first place when I first said. But I think it's still overlooked now, and that's going to come back, that car. When it's 45 grand, that'd be a good car.
Is it not already?
Yeah, it's a good car, yeah.
What? No, is it not already 45 grand?
No, not quite.
Any others that we can think of?
Alpine.
Underrated. Yeah, Alpine. Alpine's a great shout.
Bearing in mind what we saw on the tour.
Yeah, it's a great shout.
Yeah.
I don't like doing the ultimate car garages. God, I feel like we've done it so many times before.
So
Lots of you have
many
asked,
times.
but yeah. Okay. DPTZen1. What do you think the motor manufacturers will do now they know that the EV policy is failing? It's a great question.
It depends on how you look at it, because for us, it was never the end goal anyway. It was never the end game. So you can, if you're playing devil's advocate here.
Advocate.
Thank you.
Avocado.
Yes. it has been a success in its way. Because it's taken a lot of combustion cars off the road essentially, and people have bought EVs for the towns because for its purpose, for some people, they are fine. We don't like them, or me especially. But
I like them.
Yeah, you like them more than me, but I have a bigger problem. But I'm trying to sit on the other side of the fence, be impartial, as they say.
Yeah, but hold on a sec. That's not the question. The question is, what do you think they're going to do now that public demand is theoretically less? They're openly admitting they're not going to be able to meet certain targets. Various governments around the world are sort of slightly changing their rhetoric over combustion engine bans. So, like, we've all heard, and brands like Jaguar and name me someone else who are going full EV.
Yeah.
You know, where does that now sit? Do you think, as we've seen some manufacturers do, they're going to have to rethink their future product offering, or at least their marketing? Or do you think they're just going to sort of plow ahead?
No, they're going to have to. I mean, how many times we've been jumping up and down and saying this? They're definitely going to have to rethink 1,000,000%, because the product that they've given us is not selling. Whether it's good or not is a different thing. It's not selling. So manufacturers, which is why they're kicking back, they're all about making money. They've all got boardrooms. They've all got CEOs and stuff, and they're all about making money. If they're not making money on that product, they'll bin it. So they will still make it, but they'll make it in lower numbers and concentrate on something else that sells.
Yeah,
that's what they'll literally just find something else that sells.
Yeah, I think, you know, it's
hydrogen.
No matter where your head is at, EV is like electric vehicle, BEV, battery electric vehicles.
Yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
No.
They're not going anywhere. Like
No.
that. It's just that we're in this weird transitionary time, and there's a lot of uncertainty, and there's no clear direction, and there's a lot of things that have gone wrong or been done wrong.
Yeah. Whether it's infrastructure, or whether it's the cars, or whether it's the
pricing or whatever. Like, you know,
whatever.
But that will all figure itself out.
Yeah.
So I do worry about brands like Jaguar. And why am I struggling to think of all the other ones that have gone EV only? I do worry about those kind of brands.
You don't worry about Tesla, though.
No, because Tesla have always been electric only.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
If you're an existing brand that has now decided to stop and go fully electric only, especially Jaguar, who have come out saying that they're going to be a very high-end premium luxury EV vehicle, I think that is tough.
Yeah.
Because we've seen over and over again, actually, the demand, if anything, is for the more accessible, affordable electric vehicles, the family EVs for inner cities, for affluent areas.
Yep.
These 150 or 120 grand plus super premium EVs, people don't really want. There's not as much demand unless you're a business owner.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. Will RLT1, what is the one business decision you were most scared of which has paid off? Going pro on YouTube and drive the world. I mean, those two for me.
Well, I mean, we have spoke about this briefly, drive the world. I mean, you was packing up. Drive the world, come back, finished.
Yeah, but just to go in the first place was...
Yeah, but you carried on. So,
yeah.
Exactly. From a good point of view. I mean, I think it was a good... No, it was a good thing, mate. I think you've grown as a brand since you've come back.
Yeah. Of course.
%.
No, 100%. But I think more so, the question of what was the decision you were most scared of was going full-time YouTube, giving up everything else, and deciding to go and drive the world. But what about you?
We're in the business, starting the business,
of course, starting gravel world.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything to lose. I didn't have anything. So that was my only plus. It was all in or nothing. So I had a dream, and I'm living it. I'm achieving it.
Living the supercar dream.
Hate supercars.
Tom Galuzzo.
Huh?
Are Rolls Royces really as amazing as pretty much every journalist and owner says?
Love them.
Yeah. You know why? And we touched on this a little bit when I spoke about Spectre. Because, there goes Twiggy shaking her head. They are unlike anything else to drive. That's why they're as amazing. I've said before, I think sometimes the buttons and things like that don't live up to Bentleys, even some Mercedes. You know, there's interiors which touch point wise compete or better, but the actual driving experience is unlike almost anything else.
Yeah.
In terms of luxury.
Yeah.
There's some interesting questions here, but some of them repeat themselves. I'll ask this one for Tony. Ryan Kenny 93, where do you see the car trade in the next 6 to 12 months in terms of prices?
I don't normally get this too far wrong. Steady. The normal, you know, how they normally fall. Not the high-end stuff, but, the high-end stuff will be how it normally is. Come on, sit down.
So Twiggy's climbing all over Tony's lap.
But the normal stuff, just, the normal 10, 12% a year that they always do.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing crazy.
No.
This is from Stephen07, looking at getting my next car looking at both an Abarth 595 or 124, which is better. 595, I'd say, Competizione. I love the 124 Abarth, but the Competizione is better, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I'd agree. I just don't like the seating position in them, mate.
Yeah.
That's the only problem.
You sit up high with that.
Yeah,
I feel like you're driving a bus.
124s, at least you're on the floor.
Yeah. Chris Hall, episode suggestion, a day in the life, but you and Tony swap jobs.
Oh, he'd hate my job.
I would actually really struggle.
I couldn't do his job, by the way, but I would find it easier than swapping over.
Yeah.
Because I've had a glimpse into your world. If you come and sat with me for a day, mate, you go. Well, you have before. I have. I don't know.
But you're not the only car dealership that I work with or witness, and it is people. The general punter, of which I would classify myself most of the time, has no idea the BS that you have to put up with and go through. Like it is. Yeah. It is it's one of the jobs that I would like to do least.
Yeah.
Be a car salesman. Like genuinely, dude. I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you haven't gone insane.
Yeah.
The stress.
I have.
Yeah. You've proven on this podcast.
Yeah.
Mark Moscow 94. Tony, what advice would you give someone starting their own business?
Oh, we've said this many times, mate. Just work hard. Get your head down and work hard.
Learn from your mistakes, because there will be mistakes.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. That's how you learn.
Yeah. Don't be scared to make mistakes.
Absolutely, yeah. You learn more from a mistake than what you do from a positive. And like anything, an old saying, you pay to learn in this world. You're going to make a mistake. It's going to cost you a few quid. You either learn from it and evolve, or you don't learn from it and lose even more money. So, but there is absolutely no formula. Work hard. That's it.
Yeah. I like this one. Hip Kiss Neil. With the thousands you've made from podcasting.
Thousands? It's way more than that. You're joking.
Millions.
Yeah.
Which car brand would you buy and bring back the glory? So let's limit this to, say, either brands that have died or brands that are in trouble that you would go in and buy and rework and turn into a glorious brand.
I've got one.
I've got one too. Go on.
Saab.
Oh, didn't see that from you. That is epic.
Saab.
I like the idea of Saab.
Yeah.
Did you ever own a Saab or anything?
Oh, I've had many Saabs, mate.
Because there were some Larry ones, right? They did do some like drivers' cars.
Yeah.
My sort of awareness with Saab was post fact. You know, they were already in the downturn because my years early 2000s, things like that. You know, they were already. Saab. What would you do? What would you?
Bring it back and make it a conglomerate like the Germans, because they were so well built. They were, everything about a Saab was like easily as good as a German car.
Yeah.
But they just, it was marketed wrong. It was badly run.
Yeah.
It was sold millions of times. But as a car, bloody unbelievable. It was so, built like a tank, like a Volvo.
Yeah.
Proper
Quirky design always.
Yeah.
I was going to say Lancia.
Well, it's not bad, but they were really rusty. You know what I thought you'd say?
Go on.
TVR.
No, I've never got TVR thing.
Okay.
I've literally never got the TVR thing. For me, Lancia and stand out on our own. We'd make a mega, like an RS3, but a lightweight Italian RS3.
Yeah.
I'd make some kind of cool 120 grand Italian R8. It would be, all kind of semi-affordable, relatively, I would say, with lots of Italian flair and silliness and bold designs. I'd get touring Superleggera involved.
They partnered with Saab, by the way.
Lancia, did they?
Yeah.
Look at that. So we, meant to be in business together.
Yeah, literally.
Destined. Right. Twiggy, you're being very needy. You've made your way from Tony's lap to my nap. I think she probably wants to go out, but we're mid-podcast, Tony, so...
Just
sorry, Twiggy. So, Tony, hold it in. Don't pee on my lap, Tony.
The thing is, you have to be, some of these questions, although they're good, by the way, that we've been asked them before.
Yeah,
so
of course.
you're scrolling through the ones that you remember that we haven't really been asked for before.
This is quite a niche, weird one, though.
Go on.
C4SYX. Best everyday Ferrari for under 375k.
Well, nearly all of them.
But every day. I mean, it's weirdly niche, but there's about 50 different Ferraris that you could put into that bracket.
Yeah.
But I will probably come out and say the Roma or the Lusso.
Okay. Yeah. 812 will be there.
I don't think it's every day.
Really?
We have a mutual friend who just swapped from a Lusso to an 812 GTS, and he can't stand the thing. He's like, what an idiot move. I'm going back to the Lusso.
Is he?
Yeah, he hates it. It's like, it's way too supercar for every day. Way too on its toes, way too twitchy, way too annoying.
Yeah, Roma's a good car.
Yeah, Roma's a good car. Maxence Shoots. What was the most exciting car released or you drove this year? What stood out to you this year that you've driven? Or that surprised you?
Oh, mate, some of the more mundane stuff.
That's what we want to know.
Yeah, surprised me more. That bloody loan car I had in Hungary, that bloody 3008 thing.
That's the same way that I felt about the Cupra Formentor.
Like literally, like just because we're so used to driving sports cars and supercars and stuff. Some of the, I've got into some 2 or 3 year old. There was a bloody Kia Sportage I jumped up and down about earlier on in the year that I thought, flipping hell, for 20 odd grand, what a car.
Yeah.
So, yeah, some of the more mundane stuff, to be fair.
For me, complete opposite, 750S and the Spectre. Great cars.
Oh, Spectre's cool, actually.
Spectre's
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah.
Lots of people saying, what's the car we regret selling? Everyone always wants to know that. I think we've spoken about it quite a few times before.
Yeah. Have we?
Yeah, well, go on.
Probably.
Launch in if you want to.
Pista.
Yeah.
I'd have another one of them tomorrow.
Thought you would.
I just don't know what I'd do with it. That's the problem. But I still wish I had one. You did say to me that I hate that car.
The Pista?
Yeah, you said to me, after a couple of years, you won't talk about that car anymore.
Yeah, because I thought you would have moved on.
No, I love that car.
I thought you would have moved on because you often do.
I do.
You're like, you know what I mean? Like you're so invested at the time in one thing.
Yeah, I am, yeah.
And then you move on and suddenly you slate it off.
Yeah.
So that's what I kind of thought was going to happen. But
not with that car.
You haven't replaced it yet. So wait until you get in the
something else.
296 VS. Go, Pista was crap there, wasn't it? Okay. How's Tony's dog? That's from Nick.
Getting big. No. Actually fully grown.
Fully grown now?
Yeah.
How much food does he eat?
Surprisingly less than what he used to because he's fully grown now. So a kilo a day, just over a kilo and a half. So not. I mean, he was easily 2 kilos a day when he was growing.
Philip MLCZRK, having driven both left-hand drive and right-hand drive manual cars, what do you prefer? What feels more natural, shifting with your right hand or your left hand?
Because I've driven more, shifting my left hand, right-hand drive.
Yeah, I would say right-hand drive manuals feels more natural, obviously, doing it longer, doing it more regularly. But I prefer driving on the right-hand side of the road. I prefer driving left-hand drive vehicles.
Okay.
Weirdly, it makes more sense to me. Yeah, probably not in this country, but it makes more sense to me to get into the car on the left-hand side and drive on the right-hand side of the road.
Well, that's why most countries in the world are left-hand drive.
Yeah.
And cars are built, by the way, to be left-hand drive. They're basically converted.
Yeah. Look at how many specialist cars come out and they're left-hand drive only.
Yeah. And look at all the race cars, mate. They're always left-hand drive.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Ben Gom, if you had to choose another podcast co-host that wasn't Tony, who would it be?
There ain't no one to replace me, mate.
There's so many people. Obviously, I've done a lot of stuff with Paul on here, but I don't think I would do a weekly episode with Paul because he would drive me insane. He would just be banging on about the facelift Revolta. Have you seen it? It's left the gates at Lamborghini. I love doing those episodes with Jonathan Benson. Remember Benson? Mr. Tire Reviews? I thought he was
nice
great.
Guy, though.
He's interesting. Point of difference. You know, fundamentally, this show works because not only are we friends, but we also have very different opinions on things.
Yeah, of course.
So I think,
there's no one else, is there?
Well, you would fall into the trap. Everyone else I know, we share very similar opinions. I don't know too many people that I disagree with as much as you. Like, dislike as much as you.
It's like, he's just got a line of hate for me in his gut.
Literally. Blair02, have you ever crashed a press or loan car? I've told the story about when I nearly died in the RA on Modball, haven't I?
Yeah.
I think that's it. No, I don't like that question. Go on, you have a little flick. I'll give you back there. Flick through, pick a couple of questions for the last few questions. Elevator music.
It goes that way. It goes side.
It's side. They're screenshots, my friend. They're screenshots.
Okay. Best driving road in the UK, Gary Marshall 96.
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Are you joking?
Yeah, couldn't tell you.
I don't know the name of it, but there is a road in South Wales, North Wales, that runs through, I hope I got this right, Bagnor.
I guess Bagnor Regis.
Up there.
Yeah, okay.
There is a road, and it is unbelievable road. It's like a bloody out road. I just don't know what it is.
I have my 3 favourite driving roads.
Yeah, where are they?
One, which is my test route for videos.
Yeah.
It's in Surrey, near Guildford.
Yeah.
One, which is my extended test route, which is near Newbury or Hungerford even.
Yeah.
And then one, which is the road to my parents' house. Those are my 3 favourite roads because I know them insanely well.
Yeah.
And I've driven them my whole life. Well, at least the Surrey road the last 10 years. So I know all the creeks and that's where I can.
All the bumps and the
Yeah, but
cracks.
I would not say they're the best roads at all. They're just the roads that I like to go to. There's lots of great roads in this country. They're just always busy.
Oh, mate,
We messed it up. Do you need help?
No, I haven't messed it up.
Don't call it.
So this is in. I'm not sure this would ever work, but I'm going to read it out and see what your thoughts are.
Go on.
C_RM_. For the BTG Tour next year, would it be possible to buy a seat in a car?
I don't think it's something we're going to offer.
No.
But we watch this space because we do have watch this space.
Yeah.
There's something coming that we hope will give people the chance to get involved in the tour in maybe a more... let's not say too much.
Yeah, okay.
But no, I don't think we'll sell seats because what we had someone for the Tour de Now, actually, it was Scott, that said, would anyone like to come with me? Like, if there's anyone else who wants to take part, we can share a car. He was happy to do so. But I think we have to leave that down to people that want to attend to sort out themselves.
Yeah.
Like people can, there'll be ways that you could
bring a plus
post
one
and say, I want to go, does anyone want to join me? And you have to do that as a community thing. And you revealed a bit too much though, Tony.
Well, I thought I'd put it in.
We're thinking of these things, don't worry.
Don't worry.
We are thinking of these things. Nice little teaser you did there.
Yeah. I'm so sorry I can't pronounce your name. What's the next life goal for both of you? Ooh. What's your life goal?
A life goal. That feels a bit intense, doesn't it?
Bearing in mind you work in 5-year segments.
What's my next 5 years?
Yeah.
It's a very difficult one.
It's difficult, mate, because anything can jump. We're going to get hit by a bus tomorrow.
I think the two things that are on my horizon, I would like to get my daughter set up in a school, make sure we've got school sorted because that's on the horizon in the next 3 years. So
quicker than that, mate.
Yeah, figure out good schooling for her.
Yeah.
And then probably, if I'm realistic, I'd love a big old house.
You want to move, yeah.
I'd like a big old house.
You've already got a nice house. But
I love where I live. I'm very, very happy.
Absolutely.
But if you're really saying what's a goal that you're striving for, in my head, a proper home.
A bigger house. Yeah,
I think, that, yeah. That's probably it.
I want a new house. Yeah. I nearly done it last year, but it wasn't the right time.
Couple.
Another question for you. For Sam, will you own another Ferrari, and realistically, what would it be? And that is beard_of_Oz.
Video coming to the main channel on this very subject.
I'm quite good at reading out these questions.
Next week or the week after. So, yes, I have declared to myself, which my accountants read me the riot act on yesterday. I literally had a phone call with my accountants yesterday and I told them this plan and they were like, you have got to be kidding. Yes, I want another Ferrari. Okay. And actually I think it's time. And this was all off the bat. I'm now really preempting a video that's coming. But when I had that LaFerrari experience, I made the realization that as seen through glass, some of my most visceral and best memories and best experiences have been in and around Ferraris. And I feel most natural and happy and confident filming and driving Ferraris, and therefore I would like another one.
Yeah.
And genuinely, right now, this is the very start of my journey. I think this is I would love to be able to achieve this end of 25, start of 26.
Yeah.
I think is my aim. The front runner, Portofino M, and everyone's going to go,
no, you like that car,
but I don't care.
You?
I don't care.
Yeah.
And I had this conversation the other day. I was like, the car that I really want is a Portofino M, but no one's going to care. And he said, what are you on about? And I've never bought cars for views and stuff like that. I just bought the car I wanted. So that's the leading contender at the moment.
Fair.
But I'm on a journey.
Okay, good.
Watch the space.
Philip Van Heech.
Ooh.
Would you ever like to drive a bike on a BTG bike tour?
Nope.
Just no.
Nope.
That's
How about you?
No.
Yeah.
Are you joking?
No.
Not absolutely.
Definitely not.
No chance.
No, not a chance in hell. Sorry.
Yeah.
Simple answer. Right, go on. Last question.
Last question.
Make it a good one.
Trying. Okay, let's make it simple. Will Newton 2.0, F50 or F40? Which one would you have?
I'm going to say F40 because I've had limited experience in F50, and everyone who's driven F50 goes, "Well, F50 is so much better than the F40." But I just like the F40.
I dislike the F40.
I know you do.
So, but I've had very limited, no experience in an F50. But I'm going to say F50 because I really don't like the F40.
Fair enough. I have one question for you.
Yeah.
Both cars get to 250 grand.
Yeah.
Are you having SF90, AMG GT Black Series?
Black Series.
Black Series.
Black Series, yeah, because it's more me, that car. I do like the SF9. And by the way, at 250 grand, that would be unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
It's getting there.
I know, mate. What is it, 320? 310? Yeah. So at 250, it's bloody hypercar speed almost. But for me, for what I do and use a car for, a Black Series would suit me way better.
Shout out Mark McCann. Did you ever come across his videos?
Yeah.
He did a video when he won a SF90 on collecting cars. I think 310 he was in for all in.
Fair.
1,700 mile car. Took it on a little tiny go-kart track against his Rev Welto. It was a second quicker. And he's never made me want an SF90 more. The car looked terrifying and alive, and it was wheel spinning everywhere. And he got out saying they actually felt quite similar to drive at pace. And he was a second quicker on a 20-second lap.
In what car?
SF90 versus Rev Welto.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, this looks amazing.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Well, I saw something online. He's mad, man, that bloke. He's bloody built a track in his garden.
Yeah, he's doing good things. Good man. I like channels that are freaking doing cool stuff. He's doing cool bits.
I keep seeing him prop up.
Well. Good lad.
Yeah.
Cool. Anything else we want to touch on? Anything else we want to wrap up on?
I think we've done well to make that last an hour.
And there's the truth of it, people. We will be back here next week with updates, I guess, maybe more information from my trip. Maybe the LaFerrari replacement's out.
Well, that'd be something to talk about.
As of recording, it's not out, and Ferrari just don't like to share stuff with us, as we spoke about last week.
Or me.
Once again, big shout out just in case we haven't sold out. Sunday, 10th of November, Valencia, Spain. A bit of a hangout, bit of a vibe. Shout out to Swissquote Bank Europe.
Yep.
And I think that's about it. So, yes, we'll catch up with you next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.